Hello my crafty friends, welcome back to my channel. This is card number 21 in my full deck challenge and it is inspired by Valentine's Day. For the background I'm going to use an old tissue. This tissue I have used to dab paint while I've been doing other projects, and I tend to keep all the tissues and I do like the effects it's made, so I'm going to stick that down as my background. I'm going to stick the tissue down with some Mod Podge. I'm putting the Mod Podge directly onto the card face. I don't do any kind of sanding or anything. I find that the Mod Podge is quite secure, and everything that I've stuck down so far has stayed and nothing has come unstuck. As soon as I find a section of the tissue that I like, I just press that down gently onto the wet Mod Podge, and then I just dab a little bit of Mod Podge over the top just to secure everything, and then I give it a good dry. Just trimming off the excess. You could also tear it if you prefer more of a rough look. I'm just using a small paintbrush and some Mod Podge just to make sure that all the edges are quite secure. Sometimes they tend to come up a little bit, so I'm just putting the brush over that and making sure all the edges are done. I do like this piece of colored tissue with a little splotches on, so I want to incorporate that, so I just add that piece on the top in one of the corners. To create the hearts, I'm going to use some watercolor paper to prepare the colors first, and then I will cut out my hearts. I'm going to use the same colors that I used when I did the tissue dabbing, so that everything matches up. I'm using my color burst powders again, and I will put the details of that in the description below. So I just spray some water and then I put a small sprinkling of the powders on top, and as you can see, what I call a color explosion. I absolutely love the way these work. I'm just going to move it around and let the colors flow. And in the process, I'm creating some more interesting tissues at the bottom where I'm dabbing that I'll probably use in a future project. I want the colors of the hearts to be contrasting, so I'm doing the purples and turquoise and also doing a bit of the pink, and I'm just blending those just very roughly. It doesn't have to be anything to perfection, just putting the colors, letting them mix into the other, and these will create some really interesting designs and some really interesting hearts. Once it's dry, I'm going to cut out my hearts. I've just done a rough shape of a heart on a scrap piece of paper, just freehand, then I'll fold it in half to create the template. And I'm just going to cut it out. I've looked on the other side where the colors are blending and sort of just the section that I want for my heart. I've traced it on the back side and then I've cut it out. I'm also going to fold it in half because I am going to have it sticking up off the base a little bit. I will do the same with the two smaller hearts. I'm using the same template, I just downsize it a little bit, making each one slightly smaller. You can just put two, I've put 3, you can also put 4, as many layers as you like. To make them stand out a little bit more, I'm going to give them a very light or thin black edging. I'm using a black watercolor pencil. I dip the point in some water and then I just go all around the edge. Very, very finely. I don't want a very thick outline, just a very, very thin one that makes them, as you can see already, makes them just pop out a little bit more. I'm going to stitch it down the middle with my sewing machine using some black thread for contrast. If you don't have a sewing machine, that's okay. You could just glue it down, you could hand stitch it, or you could even staple them together. And then I'm just attaching them to the card also by stitching it under the sewing machine. You could use glue, double-sided tape for this part. I'm also going to use the black watercolor pencil to do an edging all the way around the card base. I have a small die cut with the word love that I'm going to use. I like that it's black and it contrasts well with the little black elements. And then I also have a small little heart that I want to add. I tried the pink and then I tried the black, and I preferred the black as it balanced well with the word love. And I'm just going to adhere those with the hot glue. I would love it if you joined my group for this challenge on Facebook. Just search Full Deck Challenge Group. I would also love it if you subscribed to my channel and hit the little notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload new content. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and got inspired, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.